We're here. We made it. Hello. Welcome back. I think this is episode 6. I think I made it correctly. Hi, I'm operating on like very little sleep. But it's cool because we have our Spinosaurus and our coffee. And a Coke Zero from McDonald's for some reason. So I am gonna be caffeinated. Welcome everyone. We're here. We're queer. We're playing some. Most of us. We're playing some Avatar. Yeah, let's just go. Arnica, start us off with our introductions and questions.
I I can't. I'm caught in contemplation of Coke Zero.
Here,
So
you want some
gross.
Coke Zero?
No. Ooh, no. Pepsi save me. Pepsi 5 million, not Coke Zero.
There, there.
Oh,
Okay, I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. I I have very strong reactions to artificial sweeteners. They make me so ill. So anyway, hi. I'm Arnica. I have very strong feelings about soda. Welcome back to Avatar season 2. Rain of Smoke and Ashes. We are. We're in it. We had a great time last week. If you were here, then you got to see the Real Housewives of Boston say. You got to see bitches doing battle through fashion. Were you overdressed? Were you underdressed? Were your titties out in a three-piece triptych when your nephew came to visit? Yes, yes to all of those things last week. We had a great time. But you know what? Time for fun and games is over. There's someone at the door. Someone is at the door so much that the honorable Lady Wen Ji Woon has shown up and reminded people that she's not just the Ji Woon family party girl. She's one of the Ji Woons.
Mm-hmm.
She's in her she's in her cute the mob princess outfit, the daddy's little lawyer dress. You know the look,
Daddy's little
but
lawyer.
Avatar style. So we're there. But let's go ahead and introduce everybody first. Let's not jump ahead of ourselves. I even have a, oh Lord, no. You don't, I mean, it's fine. Some people don't like soda. You know what? Here's our question for today. What kind of soda do you think that your character would drink? What do you think would be their favorite
Oh
soda?
man.
And what do you think would be their least favorite soda? Let's go ahead and start with Mare. Hi, Mare.
Hi, I'm Mare. I use they, she pronouns, and I am playing your lovely, fire-bending outcast boy, Wong. Wong probably likes ginger beer soda, not ginger ale, ginger beer soda,
Yeah.
like the good shit. Good shit.
It's
Um,
spicy.
yeah, it's good stuff.
Stuff. Mm-hmm.
And then like Sprite or whatever it's called, Starry because it's boring. Would not like.
That. All right. Lord Falcones, Coke and Pepsi don't taste
LF,
alike.
you were wrong.
You are, see, but you know
You
what?
are
We're not
very
going to be mad.
incorrect.
We're not going to be
you know
mad at
what?
you
You know
because you've
what?
already said all soda is gross. So you're allowed to be
Yeah.
like, I can't differentiate between the taste of shit and shit. You're allowed to
Mm-hmm.
be incorrect and not be able to tell the difference. We still like you. You're fine,
It's
even though you're wrong.
One's
Sub
supposed to be had warm, one's supposed to be had cold.
yeah.
sub to have soda happen. Speaking of soda, normally I would answer these questions entirely in character because I am Kim Ji-woon. Uh, but today I have to say if you ask Kim Ji-woon that question, you'd get a half a second of blank stare because Kim Ji-woon is the kind of rich where he doesn't do soda. That shit is for the plebs. Uh and after that half a second he would say vodka soda. Don't give that to him. He doesn't want it. He does not think it tastes good. Just like he would absolutely despise uh fucking Pepsi, like absolutely, unreasonably, unfairly. I mean, like if you kind of got him over the classist reflex, he'd enjoy root beer. He really would.
is
like it.
delicious.
Now
What?
Now look,
Solid
the-
choice.
I'm not supposed to have favorites, but Kim Ji Woon has been my favorite for 1.5 seasons. And how are you gonna snitch on him at the danger zone? You gonna get him right there and be like, by the way, Kim Ji Woon, your favorite, has betrayed everything you stand for.
Listen. There's Kim Ji Woon is a complicated man with complicated inspirations, and I just gotta stay. I gotta stay true. He's gonna have problems. You want the best for him. You really want him to not let you down, and he is just gonna
Let you
he's going
down.
he's going to stumble.
Okay. Okay. Casey, how about you?
Hey y'all, I'm Casey. I'm coming to you from MagFest 2024 this week. I think that Lo Fong would share my taste.
Of the dot Pepsis, yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
no real question. It is the king of sodas.
It is. It is the king of sodas. Cheers.
Hell yeah.
My little pink Starbucks cup full of soda.
Mhm.
They can kick bricks, but I bought that cup 2 years ago. I'm using it. Like, I can't unbuy the cup. It is what it is.
Yeah.
And Val. hi.
Okay,
How about
before I
you?
reveal this, I have to tell the soda story between me and Casey.
Go.
All right, so it is Sursa 2006 OhioCon, and Casey and I have met for the first time ever. We are BFFs from a Naruto text-based roleplay on LiveJournal. Okay.
Oh, these were the days.
These were the days. I was on my way back from my first ever road trip in Canada, 20 years old. We stopped in Ohio, right? And I was like, Casey and I are hanging out in a food court, and I go, I'll be right back. I'm coming. I'm going to go get a Coke. And I returned with a Dr. Pepper. And he could not fathom in that moment that all soda is Coke.
All
That
sodas
was-
are
that
Coke
was-
in the deep south.
That was the first time I learned that. That was the first time I learned that. I was like, she's like, I'm gonna go get a Coke. I'm like, all right. And she comes back with Dr. Pepper. I'm like, Coke?
And I had to explain to him that when you're in the South and you ask for a Coke, you will be asked what kind, and it doesn't mean Coke or Diet Coke. It really means you could say Pepsi. Pepsi is a Coke.
I learned something new that day.
Yeah, it was one of my fondest memories of that trip. And for me, I'm a Dr. Pepper girly all day, every day. But when it comes to Kayam, he is a bit fruity. So he likes the pineapple Fanta.
I knew you were about to say Fanta. I'm singing the Fanta song in my head right now.
Yeah, very specifically the pineapple Fanta. So, I'm also a big fan of root beer. But yeah. And I will also say it right now, Coke Zero tastes better than Coca-Cola. It just does. And like Mayor said, Pepsi is meant to be drank at room temperature, and Coca-Cola is meant to be drank ice cold. And that's a class thing.
See, and that's funny because I don't like Coke, but if I do it the other way because the Coke is with rum over ice.
Mm-hmm.
And the Pepsi, or it's room temperature with, I don't care. I'll drink it warm with liquor or on ice, but the Pepsi has to be very, very cold because my hydrating liquids must be very, very cold. I won't drink a warm drink unless it's supposed to be warm.
Yeah, same.
What about Kayam's worst hated?
His worst soda, the one that he just absolutely hates, is whenever somebody makes soda water and puts the Gatorade flavor in it.
No.
My husband does that all the time, and I'm always thinking, oh, he put Fanta in the soda water. No, he put the electrolyte Gatorade flavors, and it's so bad.
Gatorade seltzer.
Like a Yes, like
sounds horrible.
it's so bad. And
I would
was
like to
just-
change my answer for what you'd hate the most.
Yeah.
You
call that soda.
Just give me
You
Gatorade
can't.
or
You-
soda water. Like I don't understand.
You can't call it soda. That's my answer. It doesn't count
it's
as
just
soda.
not.
It's-
Man, anytime
I'm
somebody
trying to process.
and not seltzer. Seltzer is a
Seltzerade.
yeah, seltzer is a different, like, completely different flavor than soda water. Like, they're two different things. But anyway, I just want to sit here and remind everybody as we finish this lovely intro. This is a viewer-affected games. If you want to toss a bottle of Fanta at Kim Ji-woon, you can do that with your bitch subs and donations.
That's
I
very
will figure
viewer
out how to
affected.
make it work. I can do
Every 100 biddies that you gift here, you can give a reroll to anybody you see here that rolls dice. So it's the 4 players, not the GM. If you subscribe to the channel or gift subs to the channel, you can give us +1 forwards. Though Casey says he is currently not accepting those, so there's just 3 of us. And he wants to accept all consequences no matter what. And if you donate,
Also, Casey has a butt ton saved up.
he does. He has 5.
And 3 rerolls.
And 3 rerolls, yeah. Thank you. Appreciate
We
it.
have to, like, You have to twist your arm to use them.
Like
So
the
we-
very first time this worked.
and
It
if
was
you
immediate.
want
immediately.
something to happen in this game, some sort of, like, you're just like, you know what? This scene really needs a platypus bear. You can do that by donating your money. I think a platypus bear entrance is like $10, but it's a sliding scale donation from like $1 to however much you want to give us. We'll stop streaming for $10,000. We'll go home. So, but that's it. Like, other than that, I think that's it. You know, just one thing. This particular show takes place at the beginning of the 100-Year War, so we are, in fact, dealing with the subject of colonialism and genocide. So please take care of yourselves if those are, considering it's an active event in our lives. Please take care of yourselves if that is not something you are prepared to receive in your fiction. We are taking care of ourselves. You take care of yourselves. Now, Arnica, I'm done. Go.
You're good. Let's do this. So, when last we saw our party, they were gathered in that front sitting room, that slightly lowered space. It's formal. It's a receiving area. The Lady Ji-woon is there with bodyguards. They came in a palanquin. Like, she is not there to play. She's not there to annoy Chaim's mom. She is there representing the Ji-woons on business. And that business is her baby, her favorite nephew, her little Kimmy has gotten involved in some shit. Last time she saw him, he was just a little ass thing, and now he's a grown ass man, and he is ass deep in alligators for something she is outrageously proud of him for doing. Oh, she's there. Oh, Auntie's there. Auntie's there to fight. And she's not there to fight Chaim's mom. If she has to be Chaim's mom's best friend to win this battle, she'll do it. Like, Auntie's like that. Chaim and Wong has had a couple gay moments. By which I mean they were so gay. They was hanging out in hot tubs. They was flirting. Everybody was naked.
They're talking
stealing
about their
fruit.
feelings, like,
Their
and their
feelings.
trauma.
It was so good.
It was.
It was super gay.
It was very gay.
Super gay.
It's the gayest thing I've ever done, probably.
I feel like you've done gayer.
I am not.
Oh. Aw.
Mhm.
Sweet. And Lo Fong he had a day. He had some moments of disassociation. He found himself wandering around the city. Like Kim Ji-woon's people in a palanquin managed to sneak up and startle the shit out of him. That's how unaware Lo Fong was in literally the most dangerous place for him to be wandering around in a fugue state. So thankfully, Kim Ji-woon put him in a palanquin and took him back. And now we find ourselves at the door. There is someone on the other side, Everyone has stopped. They've looked. The servants have gone to open the door and announce. And from here, we'll go ahead and let's jump to, what would be who would be an interesting person to start with? Let's start with Lo Fong. Lo Fong, this ain't even your house.
Nope.
Yo, you're not in charge here. You're just sitting here. You've had a rough ass day, bro.
It's been a day. It has been a
It
day.
has. Um,
Um,
tell us how you feeling.
like he's kind of back to himself, but he's like wondering how the hell he let him get so distracted that he let himself be surprised by, of all people, Kim Ji Woon. Like, nothing against Kim Ji Woon, but sneaky is not your thing. So, like Kaim and Wong, if they were trying real hard when Lo Fong's not paying attention, they might be able to sneak up on him. But Kim Ji, no. So, and it wasn't just you; it was a whole ass palanquin. So he's like lost in his head right now. So this knock on the door, like, it kind of startles him because he's kind of just been like sitting there listening to everyone else talk, and then the knock happens, and he kind of like jumps into alertness again. And he's looking over at the door, like kind of on edge a little bit.
Okay.
Odd-
So no, keep going.
Oh no, I'm done.
Okay. No, Lich, you're not a cop. You.
Mods in
Well,
chat
you.
post spread.
Which is my head mod, which is great. Like,
It was hilarious though. I just want you to know for real. That's why I whipped my head over because you're like, oh my god, did I? I was like, oh my god, did I leave it out?
or the
Did I leave my
dick.
piece out? Because here's the thing, it was where the candle is right now.
Yeah.
And it's not small.
I would have
It's
noticed.
larger than my.
I might not have actually
Fantastic.
noticed today. Now that I'm thinking about it. Anyway,
So anyway, um, the servants open the door, and it's the royal entourage. It is the people you have been expecting. It's an entire party. Like obviously the king is not here. That would be ridiculous. That said, the number of people here really kind of implies that this is being taken very seriously. I mean, y'all, oh, Kim Ji Woon and Wong may be a little surprised. Wong, just from your military training, you're used to seeing, like, you're not used to seeing a response this high because those are Dai Li agents. Um, and everybody knows who the Dai Li is. They are one of the oldest police forces in, all the nations. They've existed for quite a while. The Fire Nation's military might be slightly older, but nobody has had a like internal policing force longer than the Earth Kingdom, and the Dai Li is that original force. Um, they are a bit legendary among military kind of people as far as their training, their aggression, their devotion to duty. Like Dai Li are at this point in time really kind of top tier. They will become corrupted over the next century or so, like even more so than they are now. But right now, these are prime military dudes, and there's like four of them. There are, where are my notes from last week? Because I told y'all who was there. And now I only remember two of them.
Yeah,
my
I think
note.
as soon as I see like Dai Li agents, I do sit up a little straighter in my chair.
Yeah, just like there is like
Dai Li makes Lo Fong incredibly nervous.
Yeah.
yeah, even Kayam is tensing up on that. Like this is oh.
Lo Fong's probably killed a few Dai Li agents.
You got the slightly slouch and then immediately military posture from Wong.
Um,
Never let them see you sweat.
right. The G Wounds posture does not change. Neither one of them. Their bodyguards do. They went from alert and aware to ready. It's not considered an aggressive movement. It's considered the proper way for bodyguards of someone of Lady Ji Woon's stature to react when confronted with that many Dai Li agents. Is considered respectful to understand that there's nothing these men can do but die for their lady if the Dai Li steps, so they better be ready to die. That's just how it is. So they have bucked up. Dai Li are just continuing to stand there, cool as shit, and they are around a small group of diplomats. These diplomats include the current king, like Kayam, you recognize him. You recognize the current king's youngest brother.
Yeah.
He's so far down that like he will never, there would have to be an absolute fucking scandalous plague or murder or something for him and his line to ever sit on the throne. Like he's down there, baby brother. That said, he's also the king, one of the king's favorite brothers. Smart as a motherfucker, that one. Um, he was a couple years above you in college. He was allowed to go to public college at Boston State University. I mean, obviously heavily guarded, but still, he was allowed to go to public school in the upper ring. Um, he is to his family what Lady Ji Woon is to hers. The sleeper agent, the public face that can find out a shocking amount of information through a little bit of extra charm. At his side, Lo Fong, there's a face. They look, they're older. You're older, but you recognize them and you can see it in their eyes, their expression. Nothing on their lower face changes. Their hands do not tense, their shoulders do not move. You've all been trained too well for that, but you can see it in their eyes that as soon as you recognize them, they recognize you. Why don't you tell us about that person?
Oh boy. Well, firstly, this person has probably thought that I'm dead for the last several years, based on how I made my escape out of the organization. This is probably like the not the head of this organization, but like the guy who directly hands out orders to groups. So this is the person that Lo Fong directly reported to and received missions from, and was the man who murdered Lo Fong's friend because of that one mission from that other city that we were in. The one where Lo Fong got captured last season. Where they killed the family, and instead of killing the kids, they brought the kids back to try to bring them into the organization. And this was the guy who then killed Lo Fong's like partner in the organization, and the children. Was like, no. So a lot of resentment there for Lo Fong for this guy, and this guy probably thought that Lo Fong was dead, because to make his escape, set it up like his group had been ambushed and that they'd all been killed, because the rest of them were ambushed and killed because Lo Fong led them to the wrong spot on purpose to make his escape. But they were supposed to think that he died on that mission too. And so now this guy seeing Lo Fong alive is really not good. He's not gonna. He's gonna try not to react outwardly, but like, yeah, this is bad.
Now, I'm going to. There's a lot happening in the room right now. You can hear. There's so much. The Daily are as calm as they look. Nothing has changed on them. The king's youngest brother, his heart rate is a little fast. He's excited. He's nervous. He's interested. Lo Fong, though, you hear Lo Fong shit. You literally hear his heart skip a beat, pause, and start hammering.
Okay.
Now, outwardly, he does not change his expression. You see the exact same reaction from an older man. He stands, he looks kind of like the king's younger brother. He is in fact, a distant cousin.
Yeah.
Again, one of those people who's close enough that you give them a very important job, but never close enough to sit. And he's one of those older he's a cousin, but he's still like a generation and a half above the king. This is a man in his early 60s, dignified, very well dressed, you've seen him like up with the royal family during very specific fancy occasions where they get everybody
he's
together.
The Charles Dancy of the group, right?
Yeah.
I'm assuming. Yeah. I'm just thinking Lord Tywin Lannister vibes.
Yes,
right now.
that's exactly what this guy is like.
Yeah, gotcha. Cool.
And just like Lo Fong, there is not a single change to his expression, to the way he stands. He doesn't make a move, but the exact same thing happens. Pause. Not nearly as long as Lo Fong's. Lo Fong's was fear. This is absolute this is so mad that his whole body, including his heart, said, "Are you hold the fuck up. Nah, are you fucking kidding me?" The tension is immediate.
Remind me of the moves. There is an assess the situation in Avatar, right?
There is.
Can I would like to roll that.
Cool.
Creativity.
Creative?
Yes.
Where's my character sheet? Look at me with my +1 in creative. Let's go.
Heck yeah.
Gotta find my waterbender dice. So I don't roll on 120. I have my Kickstarter dice, guys. So that was half cocked. Okay. I am going to use my +1 to make it a 7.
All right.
Because I rolled a 6. But I don't want to fail this situation. But I will take the partial.
If you want, I'll give you one of my rerolls.
I have 5 as well. I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good. I'm gonna make it a 7. And I get 1 question, right?
You do. The questions that you get are. Let me pull the book and make sure that I'm not about to read you the questions from the old version again, because I did that last time.
I've got it up. It's
perfect.
What here can I use to blank? Who or what is the biggest threat? What should I be on the lookout for? What's my best way out, in, or through? Who or what is in the greatest danger?
Okay.
I
think I realize who. I already know who's in the greatest danger in this moment. It's clearly Lo Fong. What can I do? I'm kind of just paraphrasing. What can I do to get Lo Fong out of this situation?
The safest thing you can do is keep Lo Fong surrounded by all of you right here in front of everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Keep him in front of as many eyes as possible, and then get the fuck out as fast as you can.
Okay.
Second, everyone's back is
Mhm.
turned. Now of course that would fuck up the mission that you're here to do,
Mm-hmm.
but that's the best way to keep Lo Fong safe.
Um. Okay. I think sort of with like that in mind, and this entire um entourage entering, and like this split moment of emotions, Kayam puts on his first son face, and goes to greet them as the first son in the household should, and make sure that he, and if we are still Wong, if you and I are still kinda, we're holding hands like behind our back, like there's like a moment where I give you like a tug as I move and strategically place you in front of Lo Fong, and you get it, right? Like, but like, and then I let go and my arms are wide. It's like, welcome. What is the Earth King's son's name? What the brother's name? Lord.
Um, it would be like the difference between y'all is enough that it would just be a title. It would just be Your Grace.
Okay. Welcome to our home, you Grace. Please, have a seat on the couch. There is fresh tea and condiments for you to enjoy. We have much to talk about. My name is Kayam Gan Hao. I think that's the name I chose. And this is my esteemed mother, and the Lady Ji Woon here. And I don't introduce anyone else, just the adults and myself. The adults.
So
Kim
the
Ji Woon
prince.
will remember that.
Yeah, because I haven't given out a clue to Kim Ji Woo that something's wrong. He did not give me a chance. I don't have that moment in me.
Kim Ji Woon, you are seated next to your aunt, and she sees that. She sees that brief, like, she knows those small, tiny micro expressions that you are super good. You know, you have to, one, be very close to you to see the little tight, little stress in the corner of your eye or the corner of your mouth. But your auntie, baby auntie knows you. She just kind of she reaches over, just underneath the table. She very gently touches the side of your wrist, just enough that she's like, "Mm." And you know that there's something.
Mm-hmm.
There must be something that you have not caught yet. Somebody knows something that you don't.
If this was your house, I
Mhm.
would introduce you, but it's not. It's mine. So, like...
Listen. It's a matter of principle.
Mm-hmm.
The principle is it's me.
Palities.
Mm-hmm.
It's the only principle that matters. But moving on. Moving
Moving
on.
on. Um, Now, the Diley agent, the head of the bodyguards, steps forward and he begins to introduce him. He introduces the king's youngest brother. Let me just go ahead and, should I keep the running joke? Is his name Jet too? No, everybody can't be Jet, but gosh, that's funny when everyone is Jet. What's his name? Who wants to name the king's youngest son?
It's just
Who wants to name
jets
the
all
king's
the way
youngest
down.
brother? Chat. Who wants to name this man?
Ren.
There we go. The king's youngest brother, Ren. And his uncle is Isan.
Yep. I was like...
Everyone is Boomy.
Everyone is Boomy and
Listen,
Jet.
it was a fortuitous name, and
It
like
was
I'll
super popular at the time.
Well, it's just like as soon as like the prince was named Boomy, like everyone was like, "Oh, we clearly have to name our child after the prince, right?" Like, you know.
Great Uncle Boomy's sitting there like, had it first, bitch. So Lee agent steps forward. He makes the formal introductions. He takes 2 minutes. His Royal Majesty, blah 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 blah, Prince Ren. Um, his his Grace, blah 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 blah, Isan. Like, oh gosh, they are just woo. They're fully up their own butts. This is like court manners in your house. This is unpleasantly serious. You knew it would be, but still, like, it's one thing to have been on an adventure that was weird and wild and just fighting for your life at weird moments, and it's another thing to have the Diley standing there using court manners in your mama's house.
Mm-hmm.
Too real. Too real.
For the record, my mom is a descendant of the Earth Sages, so there's history. Like,
It is deeply uncomfortable to have them here in ways that maybe you were not emotionally prepared for.
yeah.
Your mother, however, she's got this. Gosh, she is. Y'all don't understand everything, every tiny little bit of charm and slickness. She's not great at it. She doesn't do it naturally very well. She doesn't like it.
It's a mask.
That said, Khaim's mother absolutely knows all of the rules that she needs to follow. And when it comes to court manners, hers are the best because she does them so precisely, so correctly. And when she stands up, she is grace and she is beauty and she is charm as she leads, the royals over. She gives them seats at the head of the table where you guys, everybody shuffles around. Fresh plates and everything are laid out in front of them. And once everybody has sat down and shuffled down, you notice that the Diley have all spread around them, have all spread behind the royals. And the two little functionaries who have followed them, they've got pens out, they got scrolls, they're ready to take notes. It does not matter. I'm not even going to name them because they are here to act as scribes. That's what they do. Scribe 1 and Scribe 2. Lo Fong, Isan has set himself directly across from you. You are half behind some people, but he doesn't look at you, but he is directly in a straight line across from you.
Cool. Everything's fine. There's no problems here. Nope. Everything's great. I am avoiding his gaze as much as possible.
Absolutely. Now, His Majesty, Prince Ren, leans forward. He makes some very polite small talk as he needs to do. He greets the Lady Ji Woon. He greets your honorable mother. He compliments her home. He compliments your food. What a well-mannered son she has managed to raise. Blah, 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 blah. And finally, he sets his stuff down and he turns and he looks at his, well, not his uncle, but his uncle. Like, biologically, he's his cousin, but he's treated as an honored uncle. Yeah. There's the generation difference. And he looks at his uncle and he goes, so we have heard the most terrible rumors from different corners of the world at this point, but we have also been told that we have been told to expect a group from Omashu, with perhaps more proof than the rumors that have come to us so far. Do you know what I'm speaking of?
Yes. It is an unfortunate situation that we meet your grace in such a way, but and I look over at Kim Ji Woon because you're the other person that I would trust to talk in this situation. Who has been holding on to our letter in our?
Well, I don't know about the letter.
Oh,
I've been
like
holding
for
it.
The letter's been in my hands
Yeah.
so I can use it.
That's right. And
I've had the other documents.
Mhm. And I sort of like motion to both of you to hand me the documents, so that I can hand them to the Earth King, or the brother. Sorry, the prince.
Yeah, with a short flick of the wrist, because it is at least when I left, it was in courtly fashion to keep documents out of sight to come to hand,
Hmm.
and pass it. I do in fact pass it over to Kayam. We're as far as recriminations go, those come later,
Hmm.
especially after the warning from Auntie.
I'm looking forward to it.
Something's happening here.
Um.
And I would all of mine's probably like in a scroll case, but I would
Hmm.
take everything out of the scroll case and hand it to you so it's ready to hand over.
Yep. I gather the materials from y'all, and turn around with, give in a reverent bow and hand over all of our documentation um, to Ren, to Prince Ren.
Um, so a Daily agent steps forward, takes it from your
Mm-hmm.
hands, and briefly scans through everything. The the very thin earth plates slide back from their gauntlets so that their fingertips are exposed, and one of them runs their fingers over, making sure that there's no powder, anything. Like they do a full check for
Mm-hmm.
poison before handing it to the prince. And he goes over it quickly, almost as if he fully expected. Most of it he scans as if he already knew what it was going to say.
Mm-hmm.
There are only a couple places where he truly slows down, and when he does, his Uncle Son leans over his shoulder and they read it together, such as the army paperwork that you had, Wong. That's new. That's something that, while they may have intercepted one or two things, nothing at this rank. Uh, this they even like eyebrows, a whole ass eyebrow goes up. It's a big reaction. It does not take them long. They are both exceedingly quick readers. Within a couple minutes, within like 10 minutes, they have folded everything back up. It's been rolled up and passed over to one of the scribes, who then starts spreading everything on the table within everyone's eyesight and very quickly copying out everything.
Mm-hmm.
Every single piece of it is being copied out and logged. Um, as soon as he's done and everyone sits quietly, um, Prince Ren and his uncle are talking quietly among themselves for a few minutes. Everyone's just sitting there, kind of awkward because you don't interrupt them, but also cool, not at all rude. Just go ahead and whisper in my house. That's fine. They wait until the scribe is done, and as they go to hand things back towards you, Kayam, Lady Ji Woon reaches out and intercepts the paperwork, spreads it all in front of her, and she really just kind of scans it. Kim was very thorough when he told his auntie. He told her everything. She puts it in front of her, and she kind of pulls out. She's got these cute little glasses on, like them sexy little librarian glasses.
Mm-hmm.
She's kind of pushing them up, and she goes, "Your Grace, Your Majesty, now that everyone has the full information, I would like to confirm that we all do understand that there has been a terrible slander done on the name of the House of Ji-woon, and that of course no one in the Earth Kingdom will be surrendering my nephew or his compatriots to the Fire Nation under any circumstances." And Prince Wen he kind of smiles all friendly. Meanwhile, his uncle, his son, face stays just full stony. And he goes, "All right." Prince Ren starts to go, "All right," and Uncle Isan goes, I don't know. We make no promises. So the two of them are kind of looking at each other. Prince Ren doesn't understand why. Lo Fong, you understand why. Kim Ji Woon, you also don't understand why. You and Prince Ren have the exact same look on your face of polite confusion. Uh, and he's not looking at you, Lo Fong. Like at this point, he's very, very deliberately not looking at you. He's looking at Kim Ji Woon. She goes, now, we obviously do not believe the Fire Nation that the House of Ji Woon has caused such loss of life in the city of Chime, but I'm not sure if we could, I'm not sure if it would be wise to openly, he kind of ponders, he pauses, he looks. It's a kind of, he's baiting your family a little bit, Mr. Ji Woon. He's like, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that would be wise to tip our hand against the Fire Lord so soon if we intend to move against him. And that is what you've come here to ask us to do, isn't it? You've come here to ask us to move against the Fire Nation on this.
We are not
I'm
necessarily.
I look briefly towards because he is after he could be said to be addressing me directly, so I look briefly towards my aunt just in case. Like, is she about to tell me to not?
She is not. She wants to see. She's willing to step in if she don't like how this is being handled. But you're a grown ass man, dog, and she's not gonna undermine you in front of everybody like that. That's not how the G Woons do.
Then, sir, I believe it would be more correct to say that we are here to inform you that the Fire Nation has taken action that clearly indicates it is capable of doing the unthinkable and has no intention of stopping. It has already violated your sovereignty, continues to violate that sovereignty. Sir, we are not asking you to take the initiative. We are informing you that you may properly respond. You have already been attacked.
Yusun's face gets tight around the mouth. Lo Fong, you are deeply familiar with that expression. Your palms get a little bit sweaty. But Prince Red laughs, and he says, "That was very well spoken. Yuji Wounds, you are all very much cut from the same cloth, aren't you?" And he looks at the Lady Ji Woon. He goes, "He is almost as charming as you are." He's oh yeah, Mr. Kim. Just so you know, Kayam, you should be a little bit jealous because the prince is not ever as cute as you are. Everybody knows Kayam is cute and friendly and easy. You ain't never been flirted with by royalty. He's flirting a little bit with Kim Ji Woon. You're almost as charming as your auntie.
Yeah, Kim also knows exactly enough about his aunt now to understand that compliment.
Get it, Kim Ji Woon. You could fuck royalty.
Listen, if it's gay, you don't have to worry about bastards.
Now it's not time to bring in
Strong
facts.
point.
I'm fine.
Mm.
I got this. I'm cool. So, meanwhile, Auntie Ji Woon she has spread the documentation out and she's continued to leaf through it and she goes, no. She goes, my nephew's correct. If the Fire Nation is moving against the Earth Kingdom, and they must, because there is no way that they could have launched all of these attacks without the bases that they said were for humanitarian aid and effort being used as military bases all along. It's entirely possible that they do not intend to pull back these forces and that they will march forward and inward. Uh, and she goes, and my nephew, I'm afraid that without certain protections, without the agreement of the crown, the Ji Woon family would feel terribly uncomfortable allowing Kim Ji Woon and his companions to leave the rings of Ba Sing Se, where they could be intercepted or harassed by the Fire Nation, um, at least until the rest of the Ji Woon family arrives, at which point we would most likely retire to behind the walls of Omashu as a, together for safety, where my nephew's safety has been assured. Now, Kim Ji Woon, you're not old enough to know where all the money is kept, but you're old enough to have access to some of the family financial information. You know exactly how much money your family keeps in the banks at Ba Sing Se. And the answer is a lot. There's a reason your auntie is allowed to just Auntie Mame her way across the upper ring of Ba Sing Se. She got that kind of money. Your family keeps that kind of investments in the upper ring. And she has absolutely just threatened to pull every goddamn dime of it and take it to Omashu.
So the reaction to watch is the king's youngest he has demonstrated his opinion on the matter more or less. So how is the problem reacting?
Well, he looks, there is a tightness. His face, now even you are recognizing he's making a stank face. That's a
He
whole
can
ass stank face.
he can no longer hide the rage.
Yeah, no, he's pissed. Um, the Prince Ren is actually a little bit startled at how angry his uncle is. This is not like Isan is a cool-headed man. He also tends to be a dude with a great sense of humor. There's a reason he and Prince Ren are paired together for fact-finding information like that. Like they can very friendly, charmingly wiggle a whole bunch of information out of a lot of people. But he's mad. He starts to stand up and there's a hand that very gently touches his shoulder. One of the Dai Li agents has stepped forward. They're a little bit smaller than the others. They are slight, and now that you look at them a little bit closer, their armor isn't like normally the Dai Li agents, their armor is tailored to fit them. You know, it's not like they're mass producing clothes, but these aren't quite fitted correctly, almost as if they are borrowed. Um, you notice that they're wearing their hat tipped kind of low. Their face is a little bit shadowed. And they touch Isan's shoulder very gently and lean down to whisper in their ear before standing up and not really stepping back, just staying next to Isan with their hands folded. But they're not meeting any of your eye. Now, Kim Ji Woon and Wong, I would like y'all I would like you both to roll a push your luck to see if you have any, see if you kind of recognize the profile of this person.
All right, all right. A mixed success.
Right. So, and Wong, you got a
Full
full
success.
success.
Yeah.
Nice. So here's the thing. Kim Ji Woon, it's the profile on this person looks familiar. You know you've seen them somewhere. You know you recognize this person. Uh, you don't know how or why. Like you don't know who they are, but you know their face, and it's kind of on your nerves because you know that you should know who they are. This is the kind of information that you normally are able to pull. You're just a little bit distracted. There's a lot going on right now. If you have like 2 or 3 more minutes, you would pull it. But Wong, you you recognize.
Oop, you got muted.
Yeah, I sure did. I dropped my thing and then I ran over it trying to find it. That's what I get. Where's my bookmarks in the wrong place? No. Ow. Oh my gosh, I'm dying. I'm dropping things all over my house, and the book fell in my lap, and I muted my thing. I'm having a day. Where is this hoe's name? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to call her a hoe.
Them. I'm sure
Yeah,
they're
she ain't lived that.
lovely.
She ain't lived that life.
I'm pretty sure they're probably not.
No, actually, they're quite lovely because they were really the guiding wind was they were building their temple fairly close to where the the Navy Academy is for the Fire Navy. So you saw the air nun Ryoshin, the one who brought the guiding wind, one who everybody knows, is real good friends with the princess. Um, and so everyone's you guys were curious. You did wonder what the fuck happened to the airbenders on Fire Nation Island. Like, did they get them first? Did they get them the same day? Did they get them early? No one knows. Only the firebenders in only people in the Fire Nation knows what happened to the airbenders who were there that day, except that is absolutely the air nun Rioshin.
Yeah. As soon as like I realized this, there's like this entire time I'm keeping my mouth shut. That's the safest option for Wong. There's no reason for me to say anything at all.
Yeah.
And I still continue to not say anything because that would be very foolish, especially with all the tension going on. But I'm underdressed and all the fun stuff. Out of my league, out of my depth. But after I like make that connection, there is a little bit more of like I was already sitting straight, but now it's just like a freeze, and I just kind of like try not to stare, but there's a split second where I stare, and then I turn my attention back to whoever is currently talking at this point when I make this realization. And if I do like she's not looking at anybody.
She's not. Her face is down. If you were not sitting at the right angle, if her hat and her hair hadn't moved just right, you would not have seen enough of her face to recognize her. Like there was Kim Ji Woon saw like this much of her, enough that he's like, I know that profile. I couldn't have done it, but he did. But you are at the right angle where you managed to see like a full profile. She has a Rishin is beautiful. She has a very like handsome face. She's got kind of a strong jaw. She's got a very she's got a very long like straight no her hair when because she's one of those nuns that wore her hair, some of them full shave, some of them wear it short, partially shaved. Hers, she had the open crown, but it was like down to her knees. And she can chi bend in addition to air bending. It is one of the reasons why she was working. It's how she and the princess of the Fire Nation met in the first place. Is the princess is not a bender, but she is at the moment one of the most accomplished chi blockers in the world, specifically because of the years she and Rishin spent training together while they fell in love.
Um, realizing she's staying hidden for a reason, after that, I will turn my attention away, then back to whoever's talking.
Okay. Now, for the rest of you, what you see is just a very small Dai agent come, put their hand, very, just a brief touch to Isun, a small whisper. You have no idea what's being said. And then they don't step back. They continue to stand there um, before just it's a whisper. You're surprised it carries until maybe you're not. Maybe you understand why it carries, but it is whisper soft. Um, as it says, for the truly survivors out of the East.
Wong is nodding but doesn't say anything.
A handful. Their safety has been guaranteed.
Um, she looks around and Isun goes, I would not. And Prince Ren goes, you are safe here. And with those two conflicting pieces of advice happening simultaneously, the rest of you see that this Dai agent slowly begins to take off the gauntlets. And as they do, they reveal a small feminine hand and the bright, bright, but faded, letting you know that this person achieved their mastery decades ago. These are an older form of every couple decades, there's a slight variation in the tattoo styling, enough that it's deliberate so that you can tell when a person received their mastery. Even in death, they'll be able to check the body and be like, this person received their mastery, blah, blah, blah. Her tattoos are old enough that you can tell she has been a master for at least 40 years. Now she moves back her hat, and the hair she's got is not her fault. She got a mullet. It is not her fault because she's letting her hair grow back
Time
so
the
that
fuck
she can
out.
hide. Okay.
What's wrong with
Um,
Uh,
and it is.
Don't-
It is.
don't be
It's.
hating.
It is. It's. I'm not hating. I'm just saying it's not her fault. She got one. It's not a charming. It's not charming. It's not layered.
Fair.
They don't know how to. They don't know how to cut it into a haircut.
Somebody did like a pixie cut and like didn't realize like sometimes hair grows differently on different parts of your head. Kind of mullet. Yeah, had those before.
It's
It's a little Joan
it's
Jetty.
real short and then real long because
It's
it's
like a
no
jellyfish.
longer. Yeah. Yeah.
It's a jellyfish
And I'm
mullet.
saying this is now look, I had this haircut. I had that haircut in 8th grade. Yeah, in 8th grade because I thought I was going to cut my own hair and I had no idea how to cut my own hair.
Mm-hmm.
And so I thought I was going to layer it and I didn't quite know how to do that. So I had 2 layers. I had a short layer and a long layer. Surely that's how it worked.
Yeah, that's exactly
So
how it works.
I had a fro mullet because it was only
Mhm.
this long on top. So, my hair has
Amazing.
loosened up. Since I had a kid, it was tight. So I had a fro here and then it was like halfway down my back. I had a fro mullet. She got hair like that right now. She got a fro mullet. Her hair is curly. Yeah, it's a loose curl. But so she got a loose, short explosion curl sitting on top of a lot of hair that looks wavy straight in the back because the weight of it's pulling it long. But you can still see a hint where she's trying to grow bangs and they're not long enough to cover it yet. You can still see the tip of her airbender tattoos there. Um, and she introduces herself. She says, I am Sister Rishon of the Guiding Winds of the Fire Nation. I am.
What?
I thank you.
Oh.
I thank you for what you have done. I will not ask you to betray the safety of where your survivors are because I will not betray the safety of where mine are.
The less people who know, the better.
Uh, she goes, but I think I think that they should grant your request because it won't help for long. I would like I came here looking for help. And the Earth Nation, and she puts her hand up before either one of them can start to speak because they both start to protest. And the Earth Nation has made the decision, as is their right, that they are not going to take their people to war by invading the Fire Nation. They still have Zaisan.
Mm.
He has his he has his sister. He wouldn't kill her. Sozin is Sozin is evil. Sozin is evil. In ways that I never could have imagined he was. But he would not kill his sister. She's somewhere. It's even possible that her husband survives on the run, hidden somewhere inside the Fire Nation. I have to go back. I have to try to find her. Because if anyone tries to bring Sozin to justice for what he has done, then his sister must be there to ensure that the Fire Nation can continue to run safely. This is not, this is the crime of a few, not the many. This was done in the Fire Nation's name, but not all of the Fire Nation did this. We cannot let an entire nation fall to ruin without a leader as we try to bring Sozin to justice. Isan, if you grant them safe passage through the Earth Kingdom, I will ask them to escort me at least as far as to the closest docks. But I must go back to the Fire Nation whether you join me or not. I have to bring Sozin to justice for what he's done.
One second before I respond, my husband wants to smooch me. Bye, I love you. Mwah, you're so cute. Okay. Like, to love. Like, you know, is she saying this directly to Kayam? Like, who's she saying this to?
She is addressing the table. She is
The
addressing
table.
you and Kim Ji-woon primarily,
Mm-hmm.
but she's addressing your party
Okay.
in
The
general.
party in general. Yeah, I exchange a look with Kim Ji-woon and then Wong, and I don't look at Lo Fong. I don't want less eyes on Lo Fong right now, the better. Can't speak for all of us. But we're just four guys. But if a covert operation is what we need, I mean, I think we have the capabilities of that.
Kim like breaks out into a Fire Nation diplomat's smile, the kind of smile that might precede laughter, the kind of smile that might precede a death threat, the kind of smile
Mm-hmm.
that might well be hiding steel.
Kind of smile that says, "Meet me at the Agni Kai."
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
All right.
my lady, you speak to Kim Ji-woo. Make no mistake. He will see, I will see you to the Fire Nation with the full faith and credit of the Ji-woon family.
Your auntie throw her hands up. You have never seen her. She doesn't say no, but she does one of these. Keep going. I'm
Good.
chewing.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. I, as our host has said, I cannot speak for all. After all, we are but four. Accused, us accused, slandered, uh, and uh, like and just enough of a glance. Well, enough of a look at Yi Sun to make a said, the point is direct.
Mhm.
Uh, Perhaps even abandoned by the powers that might otherwise shelter us. I will not promise them to take on to take on the great deal of danger that will be defying a nation gone astray, of rebuking a monarch gone mad. But it will be done. I will see it done.
Um, y'all, this woman she is so relieved. The last time you're starting to realize that you're seeing the exact same looks over and over and over again on these airbenders. This exhausting, unspeakable heaviness in their eyes and in the way they carry themselves as survivors, and just this fragileness to them that was not there. This, they've hardened themselves, and just this fragileness that appears when they're offered help. Um, you see it in her eyes. You see it in a quick tremble of her hands as Kim Ji Woon says this, because the Fire Nation is not her home. Her home was the Air Nation. That said, she's lived there for decades. She knows these people. She loves their princess. It was a lot to have a place that she thought of as home do this to her. And having Kim Ji Woon willing to go back with her. She was going to go back by herself if she needed to. But having just one person say, "Of course I leave you. Of course I'm going with you." You just see this vulnerability in her for a moment. Just this, I thank God I don't have to do it aloneness before she gathers herself again. But you see it.
During this whole talk of, her asking people to like accompany her and like Kim Ji Woon basically saying, "Hell yeah, I'll do that." There has been a very tenseness to Wong watching his people talk about going back to the Fire Nation and Kai. And you notice this with your heartbeat
Mhm.
detection,
My
but there is
sensory issues,
your
my hypersenses.
that heart rate is erratic and a little increased.
Mhm.
And I just look over at Lo Fong too to see like what his reaction about all of this and or how
His
his
eye,
body language is.
his eyes have not left Isan the entire time. Like you've been in meetings with Lofong and other people, and he kind of like scans the room. You're usually his eyes are focused on that man and that man only. It's as if everyone else in the room does not exist.
Arnica, is Isan's eyes glued to Lo Fong or no?
Oh yeah. Even when he looks away, even when he looks to someone else, you can tell that he might be looking at someone else, but that his attention does not leave Lo Fong. So, I mean, so here's the thing, Lo Fong. So, you are, you may or may not be in a pit with two tigers, little buddy. Because I mean, you can, you can stay here if you want to, but one of the most dangerous men in the Earth Kingdom, possibly one of the most politically dangerous men in the world, now knows that you lied. You said you was dead. You ain't dead, bro. And in fact, he's been doing math over in his head like a fucking Twitter gif and starting to realize that if you're not dead, but all the rest of your dudes are in an ambush that you probably set up, that if you didn't set up that ambush, you sure as shit knew it was there and walked him into it. He's he's not stoked with you. You you might want to put an ocean between you and him. You between the devil and the deep blue sea, bro. You can literally jump out of this metal frying pan and into some fire, but you gonna have to pick which one.
I mean, what he'd really like to do is just bury his blade in the man's heart. But while he probably could take Isan alone, there's also at least 3 real Dai Li agents, and he's good, but he's not that good. No, almost no one is.
No.
It's not a full moon, so I can't take on these aliens. I can take like one on probably, but
Like, if
right
our-
now,
Yeah. Like
I'ma tell y'all right now,
Mhm.
Lofong knows that at full strength, the 4 of us might be able to take one of them.
Yeah, one.
Yeah.
These are like if they was regular Dai Li agents between, you know, your mom and your auntie and the bodyguards, that'd be one thing. But these are Dai Li agents assigned to protect royalty.
Mhm.
You ain't you ain't got that fire.
There's too much Kyoshi in here. Like,
So that's what you feeling, Lopong. You're feeling like you are stuck between fuck and fuck me. You stuck between fuck you and fuck me. That's where we are.
I think that's a good place to break.
Isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Good place to break, everyone.
Hell yeah.
We'll see you back here
We'll be back in a little bit.
10 to 15 minutes. See you soon.
Bye.
Whoa.
No, you.
I am.
Right.
Despite the fact that so this is like the weird thing. It's very funny because right now on the Zoom call we always have like our names and pronouns on for the players. Next to mine I just have unperceivable, but by wearing this toque I have now been perceivable. Like, I don't know.
I can in fact see you.
Yeah,
Can
yeah.
you change it to? Can you change it to PURR receivable?
Perceivable.
A
I'm
humble
Resolution.
request to change your Zoom name.
perceivable.
Hilarious.
This is a deep lore
Um,
chat. We're going behind the
So,
scenes.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
for those of you who don't know, I've had this Fruits Basket beanie since I was like 19 years old from Hot Topic. So this is vintage bullshit right now, like vintage weeb, as I call it.
Authentic vintage weeb.
Authentic vintage weeb.
Oh yeah.
But hey, we're back. Let's play some games. Go ahead.
We're here. We're
We're
queer.
here. We're queer.
All
Let's go.
right. Damn, so let's go ahead and play some games. So, Isan is mad, y'all. And Prince Ren look a little bit startled. Isan's fist clenches on the table. And he takes a deep breath. He looks at the Lady Ji-woon. He looks at Kim Ji-woon. He looks at Kayam. And he looks at Lo Fong. He briefly glances over at Wong, but yeah, he goes, the crown will not be given orders. The crown will not be forced. The crown, like his voice is starting to raise, and Prince Ren clears his throat. And he goes, I have been authorized by my brother to make a variety of concessions. Having looked at the letter from Her Most Serene Majesty of Omashu, may she reign in peace and prosperity, we are, of course, and he doesn't look at his uncle, but it's very pointed, we are, of course, glad to offer the safety of the crown as you make your way out of the Earth Kingdom, provided that whether or not we cannot order you to head into danger to the Fire Nation, but we would ask those of you who are our subjects to escort the honorable sister at least as far as port.
Okay.
Oh, I bet Isan did not like that.
He's gone very still, Lo Fong. And he goes, of course. Of course. You don't say nothing else. He's not looking at nobody in particular. He's not looking at you now, Lo Fong. It is significantly worse than when he was.
Yeah.
Because when he was looking at you, you knew what he was thinking, kind of. But now, he's gone real still. Can't really tell what he's thinking, but you can tell he's thinking hard. All right, the prince has made his request. Guyon, Lo Fong, you know he's talking to you. Isan knows he's talking to you.
Mm-hmm.
He technically doesn't know he's talking to you because you haven't been introduced. He sees you, but he doesn't know who you are. He doesn't know you're there. Kayam, you are very definitely being addressed, and you
Mhm.
know you're being addressed. He heard you, bless your heart, and now you're being told, that's very nice, dear. I can't make you go to the Fire Nation, but I could sure as shit make you take her as far as the port.
Of course, Your Grace, it would be an honor to escort the sister to port.
Lo Fong, how y'all feeling? Are y'all just staying quiet? What you
I
doing?
am not saying a thing.
I'm in
And
the same boat.
yeah,
When in doubt, pretend to be a
and
servant.
my
Yes.
entourage will be happy to accompany me. I say, like,
I know the prince probably doesn't know exactly who I am. I have no idea if Isan has told the prince of our organization or has hinted that he has recognized me, but I Lo Fong is not confident enough to speak right now.
yeah, and in that moment, it's like, and my entourage would also be happy to accompany me.
Of course.
Um, Prince Ren claps his hands and he's all charm and affable energy again as he goes, the crown is ever so grateful for your loyalty and devotion. Um, your Oh, what the hell button did I push? Oh, I tried to turn the volume up again by accident. He goes, we are ever so grateful for your loyalty and devotion. Your family's good fortune may continue to grow. And now it's time to everybody sits for a little bit longer. Another round of food comes out. Some very fancy coffees and teas, some super expensive, like your your cook must have, there's no way she had time to do this. She must have run out the back door, sent like the kitchen boy hauling ass across town.
Oh yeah.
Because you know where these desserts came from, and they're not technically outside your household budget, but even for your household, these are woo,
These are good. Yeah.
these are good.
This comes out of the just in case royalty visits us budget. Like, everyone in the ring has that.
And it was time to bust into it.
Yeah,
and
I
I'm
was
glad
like,
you did.
And it's like bone dry and must be replenished by the end of this night. But like, you know.
The good news is it's fucking delicious, so that's great. It totally is almost worth the cost. My God, the freaking cost of this. It is delicious. Wong and Lo Fong, it's probably best you don't know how much this costs because all of a sudden it would taste like, are you fucking kidding me? It
I'm
would stop
probably
tasting
not even
delicious.
eating.
I can't imagine Lo Fong is
Oh, you
eating
said
either. Like,
There's like
Yeah.
one polite bite.
Lo Fong's had like a couple bites, but he's not really hungry right now for various reasons.
It's very
Whereas-
just like it's just like fork mouth. That's it.
Whereas Kayam and Kim Ji Woon are just straight up in their element right now. Like, oh yeah, socializing with the prince. We have been training our entire lives for this. Okay? Like, because there's always a chance you are going to meet someone important, so you have to be prepared for it. Even Kayam is behaved.
Right.
Lo Fong and Wong just want a GTFO.
Oh, don't get me wrong, so do we. But
Yeah, but you don't have it written all over your face.
oh no,
Yeah,
no,
they
no,
can.
no.
They at least know how to handle the situation gracefully. Whereas we are just potatoes.
Yep. Very. Yep.
Speaking of potatoes,
Potato
if the prince
gang.
will let me, I will give him a potato trick.
Oh my gosh. Push your luck.
Oh my god! That is
That's what passion.
with passion. Okay. So with passion, that makes it an 8. If I use
You really want to impress the prince that bad?
Yeah, I do. If anything, it's a distraction. Honestly, if I could just, I'm gonna use a reroll. And
So
see-
here's the thing.
yeah.
An 8 is technically a hit.
Yeah.
On a hit, you do it, but it costs you to scrape by. On a 10 plus, your boldness pays off. So you can try to go for a 10 or
I'm gonna
higher,
try
or
and
you
go
can.
for a 10 or higher.
Yeah,
so
okay.
I'm gonna use the reroll. to go higher, and it is a fucking 10.
Yeah. Yeah.
6 and 4. Ooh, because I am.
So
going
here's
to be
how this
impressive.
looks.
Yeah.
This is hilarious. I'm gonna start it and you can run it from there.
Mm-hmm.
You've been sitting there, man. You've been on your best behavior. You've been so good. You've got this. You've got this. Okay. But you've never gotten to show royalty or okay. He's at your house though. It's not like you went to the palace.
Yeah, he's at my house. Yeah.
I mean, it would probably be okay if you just did like a quick little trick with some potatoes.
Oh my God.
And your
Wait,
mother.
I have something even better. Can I?
Oh, good.
It's not
Surprise
with
me
the
with that
potato.
one. It's gonna be even better than potatoes.
Okay, listen. So Kayam, I'm sure there's like an assortment of fruit. One of his cultivated like pear trees. One of these pears just sort of floats up, and he presents it to the prince, and he goes, "My grace, may I present to you despair?"
Now, your mother, with the spidey senses of a mother, she felt you fucking around. You could see her. You saw her head come up. She looked left as the pear floated by right. You see her whip her head around right as the pear pops in your hand. She's like, her breath is slow and deep. As you go, despair. And now
there's a very sad face drawn on the pear with a tear because it's a despair pear.
She's sitting here in silent horror. You did not. She almost thought she got away with it. You've been doing this since you were like 3 years old.
I am my father's son.
For the first time since you were 3 years old, she thought that a party was going to end without you floating fruit. And all of a sudden, there's the pear again, and she is not looking at Wenji Woon. And Wenji Woon is just kind of looking out the side of her eye at you. She's beaming at you because one, she always thinks it's very funny when you do this trick, and two, it's twice as funny because your mother is obviously mortified that you're floating fruit in front of royalty. Despair.
And of course, finally, I have my chance. I have my chance. This is what I wanted out of you. This is what I wanted. This is what I wanted you to do, and I can't. It's not as direct as I would like. So what I do instead
I did roll a 10,
is
so remember
Kim Ji
that.
Woon.
Yeah.
Kim Ji Woon starts laughing because he knows all this room needs to tip
Yeah.
is just that little push.
Yeah.
Everyone does start to laugh. It's pleasant laughter. It's
Yeah.
not. They're laughing at the pear. They're not laughing at Kyle.
Yeah.
But everyone likes it. The joke hits.
I bet Isan's not laughing though.
Isan is doing a tight, polite smile. Oh.
Yeah.
Because even in all of this, he can't help himself. It was a good joke.
Yeah, but there's something stopping him, and it's the stick up his ass.
Yeah.
Yeah,
true,
he's also
true.
like, I'm pretty sure he's also plotting my murder right now. So, you know.
I can neither confirm nor deny that. But he is like, that's a grown man playing with his food at the table in front of loyalty. That's fine. This is fine. This is why we don't come down here. Ooh, child, the ghetto. You in the upper ring of Ba Sing Se, and he's sitting there like, ooh, child, the ghetto. Anyway. But Prince Ren finds it very funny. His laughter is the loudest and the heartiest. He greatly enjoys it. He takes the pear from you. He does not let anyone else like inspect it or anything. They're all like, Prince Ren, he's like, usually takes the pear. He's like, oh.
Don't despair.
Don't despair. And he hands it to his servant. He's like, bring this with us. My brother may laugh. So pear goes in the pocket. They get up. They get ready to leave. Everybody starts making their goodbyes. Um, and as they get to the door, you know, kind you're seeing everybody out.
Mhm.
And Prince Ren turns to you very quietly, and his face, which has been so friendly and affable the entire time, is suddenly very, very serious. He suddenly looks very much like his uncle as he leans in towards you and says, I would get your manservant out of town before nightfall. And kind of clasps you on the
Mhm.
shoulder and turns and leaves.
Your advice is appreciated, Your Grace. And as like the
Uh,
door closes and I just like wait for I just all like just when they are far enough and I can tell, I turn and look at Lo Fong. What the fuck was that, dude? Like, we have to get you out of here, but what was that? Like,
That was tense.
you know, it wasn't just tense. There were erratic heartbeats. That is not the fun kind. In immediate succession, my teeth hurt from clenching my jaw.
Lo Fong, is that the reason why you didn't want to come here?
You could say that.
What?
Yes.
What? Oh, he he recognized you.
I would be surprised if he didn't. He was my direct supervisor for 6 years.
So he's a
and
super assassin.
the lady Ji Woon just kind of gently puts her cup down and folds her hands and she goes, that is surprise. Thank you. She goes, that is a you have a terrible, terrible enemy, young man. And I think you know that.
Oh, very much so.
I, while I very much appreciate the help and protection that you've provided to my nephew, uh, I'm not so sure I'm comfortable with him. She looks right like bless your heart. She's tried so hard, man. She's let you be a grown man this whole time, Kim Ji Woon, but she can't today. Auntie can't right now. I'm not so sure I'm comfortable with you being in close proximity to my nephew. You are, if you got away from Isan once, you know you won't get away from him a second time. He will hunt you too. He'll give you a head start. His nephew has told him to, but you understand that he will hunt you for the rest of your life, don't you?
That's why I'd hoped to remain dead.
She sighs deeply. She goes, well, the thing about death is that it's terribly unfair. It never comes for those who deserve it, and it comes too soon for those who don't. And sometimes she vanishes when you thought that you had safely hidden under her skirts. Ah, well, the best I can do for you, I cannot tell Kim what to do. And I'm sure that he will continue to travel with the three of you, at least as far as taking Sister Aishen to the port. Kim, are you certain you want to go home?
I promised.
Very well. Uh, she doesn't try to argue you out of it. She wanted to make sure now that there wasn't no one here. But a G wound is a G wound, and your word is your bond. Your word is so much. She knew what you were gonna say, but gosh, she had to ask. Because she would have moved if you had said, no, Auntie, I changed my mind. I was speaking in the heat of the moment. She would have moved heaven, earth, set the entire upper ring on fire to get you out, and no one would ever know. But you ready to do this. So she's ready to support you. Um, Kayam, your mom has stood up. She kind of vanished for a few minutes. She's back with a couple servants. And they've got the big shopping baskets. She goes, I'm going to start getting you all prepared. Um, the housemaids are washing your clothes. They are packing extra supplies for you. We will go get you food. You have got to be out of here as soon as possible.
Yeah. It was nice to be home while it lasted.
Lo Fang's going to approach Lady Ji-woon, and he's just going to tell her, I give you my word that no harm will come to Kim Ji-woon because of my situation. I will not allow that to happen.
She takes a she stops, she takes a little sip of her tea. She looks up at you. It's a long measuring look. And she goes, very well. I charge you with the safety of my nephew. You have endangered him with your presence, and now you will protect him with your presence. Where he goes, you go. And in return, all the safety the Ji-woon clan can extend to my nephew will extend to you. But you are his man now, until I say otherwise. She takes another sip of tea.
Serious business.
You've been mob princessed. Now what?
He nods, like, yes, he agrees.
And Kim is conveniently not actually present for this. He is in fact directing some of the bodyguards because frankly he did not frankly he expected to have a couple more days, uh, and instead that means things have to be gotten to, and this is his last chance to have a a proper traveling wardrobe going forward, uh, and that has and now is a chance. He is going to be at least until the Fire Nation. He doesn't have to hide, and certain amount of pride has to be represented, shown.
Absolutely. You
Yes, well,
are
and that
over.
means the nice necklace.
Yes. Um, absolutely. You are over with Kayam's mom and her servants and the bodyguards. Y'all are working together. Kayam, are you over with them getting the list together, or are you with Wong? Or
I think before I go over and get the list together, because I do want to check in with Wong, kind of like to the side. Like I'm letting Kim Ji-woon do his stuff because he's probably got more than anyone else. And
I'm probably like getting all the papers together and
Yeah.
putting them back in the scroll case.
Wong.
I'll just raise my eyebrows at you to like go on. I'm listening.
I'm just checking in with you because are you gonna be okay going to the Fire Nation?
I figured I would split off with you for when we made it to port.
What?
You asked if I felt okay going to the Fire Nation. I don't want to go back to the Fire Nation.
Oh. Okay. So we will be a man down. Not just a man down, but someone who could be a less irritable guide than Kim Ji-woo. I get it. I understand. You have your own business.
Jiwoon probably doesn't even know how to guide himself by the sun.
Yeah.
I'll think about it
Okay.
on the way over to the port.
Well, give me a list anyway.
What was that, what was that, Val?
Give me a list anyway.
Oh. Don't need much, but I'll get you a list.
Thanks. Lists are gathered. Lists are gathered. Lists are presented to the staff. Like.
All right. So look at that. We have had, oh, you caught that right. That sad, tense game moment of misunderstanding. Wong thought they was gonna escort people to the port and then run away
Nope.
together, happily ever after for a minute. And Kaim's like, "No, boo, I'm going too." Now Wong's like, "Son of a bitch, are you fucking kidding me?"
Brain does not work. I'm not listening too much. It's fine.
Yeah.
Too much
I love
stress about Fire Nation.
It's so
That
funny.
makes two of us where everything is perfectly fine and there are no problems whatsoever.
Fine.
um. So Kim Ji Woon, you look over. Your auntie is. She's just sitting there talking quietly to Lo Fong, who's just sitting there kind of still and fidgety, but you know that's
Yeah.
how people stand when they talk to your auntie, so that's fine. You're not concerned with that. Your auntie's friendly. She'll talk to anybody. And Lo Fong, bless, you are not worried about Lo Fong. Your auntie could eat him alive. Um, friggin' Wong and Kayam are having a slightly awkward conversation over there while you're trying to get your lists and stuff together, your wardrobe ready, but finally you've got all the information. They've got your measurements. They know what weight and fabrics you're looking for. They've got this. They know how to shop. They're used to running errands for your aunt. Uh, all the servants, Chaim's mom, everyone who's going to the bodyguards, everyone who's going to the market heads to the market. And yes,
Yeah, no, never mind. I was just kind of thinking, it's like if there was, probably can't get me a foldable chair, but part of my request would at least be giving me, crutches.
You
Just
have the
in
foldable
case.
chair from the Air Nation. Sorry, from Omashu.
No. It was a big, big earth chair.
No, they found you one that was compact.
Did they?
Yeah.
yes,
Okay, I don't
it is
remember.
with the
Okay.
gear on the old man.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Never
So
mind.
you're
It's part of the
set.
old man
You're
gear.
set.
I'm
Yeah,
good.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
good, yeah.
It's not great, but it's serviceable.
It's serviceable.
It's better
Okay.
than
Yeah.
you thought you would
Yeah.
find.
It's
just something-
wheeled.
Yeah, if we're
And
like
if you give it to your
ambushing,
and if
Yeah.
you give it to the craftsman here, they can probably improve it.
probably don't have time
In
for
the-
that, honestly.
Yeah.
Well,
We'll just
give them a couple hours
Mhm.
with it.
So that is, I will say that Lo Fong is actually correct in that we can upgrade your chair. The dude who regularly works on your chairs, if you have them take this one, he'll get it at least with he'll at least put it like the seats and the back and the pads that you need
Yeah.
to fit you.
The biggest thing is I need all terrain wheels. Like-
You know what?
Yeah.
Send it and then we'll roll and see if he has them.
Okay. Let's roll. Do you want me to roll?
Push your luck again. Let's roll with
Okay,
passion.
With passion.
go.
No, it's a 6.
F.
Okay.
It's kind. I'm gonna accept that one. That's
So
6.
what
Ooh, that's a
the
level up.
message you'll get back is he'll get the padding, he'll get the backs, he'll get the seat adjusted, but you will get the message that he can absolutely get those wheels. They'll be here in a week and a half. As soon because they are already, he's got some because you had requested some the last time you were here.
Mhm.
They should have been there. If the air nomads had been here to make their deliveries, they would have been here months ago. But
Ask for it
oh,
anyway
now
and
I
just
want
leave
a
it at home.
spoonful of peanut
It's
butter.
okay.
I'm so jealous. Okay, sorry. I saw Casey eating peanut butter and now I want some.
Good shit.
Fuck, I love peanut butter. I still got peanut butter
Right.
pretzels from Trader
See
Joe's
here.
too. Those stop
I
peanut
would
butter
like to
pretzel nuggets.
because I know I know that we are on a highly accelerated timetable, but who just might not know, the person we need to escort, who is perhaps at this very moment literally surrounded by Dai Li. Uh,
Hmm.
I need I need to get to her, and I need to get, or at least I need to get word to her, and I need to do it quick. She is an airbender. It hasn't been that long. I'm going to walk outside and I'm going to look around.
Okay.
Is she still, has she not quite left yet? And as I start like, and on a hunch, I'm gonna start like whispering, like, Lady Ryosha, can you hear me?
Let's. I'm gonna have you roll. I'm gonna have you roll. I'm gonna have you rely on your skills and training.
All right,
Roll
all
with
right.
focus, please.
A mixed success.
All right. So this is what happens. You head outside and you kind of look around. The royal party has departed. You don't see any sign of any of them. That said, you're not you're not entirely sure how this works, how far away you have to be, how far an airbender can hear you. But you whisper quietly and you just kind of stand there for a few minutes, just long enough to start to feel like an asshole. Like you feel ridiculous. You are turning around to go back in to the front door, and there's a breeze. Catches your hair, it pulls on your clothes, and you don't see her, but you do hear the air nun's voice blowing past your ear on the breeze. And it says, "What do you need of me, Kim Ji-woon?"
Tonight, there's been a complication. We'll be leaving tonight. If you will know by the bison.
Um, there is a there's a sharp catch. Uh, you can hear the gasp. The wind. It's very much as if the wind moves. You feel the wind. It moves backwards past you. You can feel the gasp in the air itself. Um, and a tremble in the breeze as it goes. Bison. Very well. Uh, that's it. You hear nothing else. You wait a couple minutes to be sure, and the breeze does blow by you once or twice more, but it's nothing but air. There's no sound, there's no anything. Uh, you head back into the house. When you do, the Lady Ji-woon is sitting quietly over in the corner. There is one bodyguard left with her. He's getting ready to escort her home without the palanquin. It's not dangerous. It's not the thing to do. But she's chosen not to wait. She's just gonna walk home. She does that. She's Wen Ji Woon. She do what she want. um, she kisses you on the cheek, both sides, and she goes, "It has been such a pleasure to see you again, my darling Kimmy. You are such you bring such pride to the Ji Woon name. You are everything that we hope to be. And I am so proud of you. And don't you listen to my brother. My brother can go fuck himself. You listen to your mother because she'll be proud of you too." And she kisses you on the forehead one last time and goes, "My men will deliver your things. As soon as they arrive, you get the fuck out of here." And she
Understood.
leaves.
Oh.
She gives you a wave kind. She gives you a She blows you a kiss, little toodles.
I catch it. I put it on my heart. And kind of dramatic.
Probably the most. Your mom's just not happy, probably with that.
She's not in the room. She's
She's
Oh,
getting
thank
not
God.
in the
shit.
room.
Oh, thank God.
It's okay. It's okay. Kim is present to make exactly the face she would.
Yes.
There we
I
go.
was about to say, I'm sure Kim Ji Woon and Wong are making.
Wong
just
doesn't
about the-
care.
Wong doesn't care.
Wong
Cool.
don't care.
Wong's like, not even a little bit of judgment, not even right in your mama's house.
It's
Just
it's
the Wong's like,
Kayam.
that's not my problem. That's
It's
Kayam.
Kayam's business.
I love this habit. Kim Ji Woon. Kim Ji Woon's got stank face.
Stank face.
He doesn't like this. Lee Ji Woon leaves. It is just the four of you again. Time to plan. What's going on, y'all?
I need to go grab my bag.
Okay. Low phone. Is it likely that he would drop everything and attack tonight? Do we have minutes, hours, a day?
I would be surprised if he did not make a move by tomorrow morning.
Hours. All right. Might not. Very real possibility. We will only be leaving with the clothes on my back. At least
It'll
they're
be
nice.
okay.
Yeah, but I won't be happy. But still,
You can always borrow some of my clothes.
I can't actually
look
just
of-
like
The look of abject horror. on
like
Kim
just
Ji-woon's
for
face.
emphasis, Kim actually him actually looks all the way up and down, cuffing him,
It's okay,
and
you can cuff it.
Wait, how tall is Kim Ji Woon again?
Not as tall as Kyle.
Not
No.
6'2".
yeah,
I know, not
like
6'2".
5'6", 5'7", like like
Oh, baby.
unremarkable,
You-
like maybe
boy.
a little bit
I
short
still
if
have
you
some
are
of my
inclined to.
clothing for when I was 15. I still have some of my baby clothes.
If there's no chance if there's no chance I can get a message out in time, perhaps. But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. In the meantime, I at least have money. It'll be taken care of.
Right, the money is the easy thing to get. Because even if your auntie can't give it to you, like, we could just take mine, and your auntie could pay back my mom. Like,
Oh, the family is large, and worst comes to worst, I know where we came from, and I know what we did to get there. It'll be fine.
Yeah, there are G-wounds everywhere.
yeah, like, you know, for somebody who's really worried about bastards, y'all definitely make sure that there's plenty of you.
Yeah, but they're all legitimate.
They're all legitimate, though.
Which is definitely an interesting thing, because there is, like, a legitimate use for the illegitimate children.
There
Like,
is.
Yes, of course there is. The problem is the strife.
That's how you get a war of 9 penny kings.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, that's fine. I'll just sit here and make my Game of Thrones joke all by myself. It's
No,
cool.
I
Don't
got
laugh.
it. I get it. We've already established my political fantasy nerdness, and Game of Thrones is, like, top tier when it comes to that. So, like...
Listen, Kim Ji-hoon is a conservative by tactic. Like you tamp down on it, because when you don't, you're leaving a door open. You shouldn't leave that door open. It's real dangerous for everyone. Don't do it.
It's not about the morality. It's about the legality. And when I say legality, I mean the contesting of wills. Fuck out of here with that. So, the four of you sit here. You're getting ready to go get your stuff together. You're having this conversation. And there's not a knock at the door. There's not. You don't realize that you've been bracing for there to be, that you're all just kind of waiting for someone to knock at the door. until like 10, 15 minutes go by and no one has come back. You realize, especially you, Lo Fong, but the rest of you have picked up that stress from Lo Fong, and you've realized suddenly that you're all just kind of sitting there waiting to be attacked. Um, you've all developed a little bit of stress from getting jumped over the past couple months from the Fire Nation. Every time you sit down, you thought you was safe, and now it's back again. That old familiar feeling of it's coming any minute
Mhm.
now.
Even before the 15 minutes, like I think as soon as all the paper I've gotten all the papers, I already go get my
Yeah.
shit. And
Yeah.
then which includes my Guandao.
hmm Yeah, I'm assuming that there has at least been a bag of goods already like placed in there. Like clearly, getting my stuff is the quickest. Like it's in
I mean,
this
Lo Fong
house.
just doesn't have anything
Yeah,
with him.
Yeah, I got a rucksack and a weapon. That's all I got.
I mean, actually, Lo Fong, you're probably the closest to fitting in my clothes.
Probably.
You can borrow my clothes if you want.
Yeah, you might
I
grab.
feel like Lo
one or
Fong's just
two
a little
things.
broader though.
Yeah,
Probably.
I mean,
It'll be
Yeah.
tight, but it'll.
Yeah. We'll just rip the sleeves off.
I
It's
feel like
fine.
I feel like Kayam wears like looser clothes
Oh,
though.
it's
He does. He
Okay,
hides the
there we
fact
go.
that he's a beanpole. Like,
Yeah.
he's actually a little. He has like no muscle mass because he legitimately like he is atrophied most of his life. Like, so he does definitely wear like looser clothing. Yeah.
But on Lo Fong is a little bit fun because like Kayam's got that kind of money where like the loose fit is deliberate. It is
Oh
supposed
yeah.
to be
Right.
loose. It looks good loose.
Yeah.
But Lo Fong fills it out. That's the
Yeah,
point.
it falls like normal clothing on Lo Fong, and so it looks a little bizarre
It's like when
because it's not supposed to look that way.
I actually have like a real life experience for this, and that I bought an oversized T-shirt from a straight size store, and it was just a normal extra like fit like a normal shirt for me. And then I'm just thinking to myself, it's like, man, they're just stealing clothes from fat girls at this point. Like, sorry, that's my fashion rant. Like, anyway.
Yeah, as the clock ticks, like him is sitting there, he's waiting, like he is. I know, like he complained a little bit about it, so we could get the complaining out of the way. It's more to the point, like yeah, this happened. This mostly happened once already at Chime. Like sometimes you got to run, and yeah, there's one thing that Chime taught him is that sometimes the running is contested.
Mm-hmm.
So his breathe like he has just been doing the breathing exercise and yeah, as the minutes tick by, there is just kind of like a little bit of heat just surrounding him. He's like ready. If the door opens wrong.
Yeah.
Lo Fong's probably meditating to try to like calm himself down to get to a point where like he knows that there is probably a fight coming and he has to be in top condition.
And whereas Kayam's hyper sensing ability is that he is just like on overdrive right now, to the point where he's even like he has given up like he not his legs but the one arm that doesn't quite move. He has just like stopped the bending of one of his arms just to heighten his own senses.
And Wong is in the not. He has his Guandao, but he's not swinging it around because that would be rude. But miming going through forms to limber up.
There is right about the 20-minute mark, right about the time you all realize that you've been tensed up and you start to go, surely I can set my shoulders down a little. You notice movement outside. It's not particularly, it's not overt. They're not like someone just waving their hands trying to get your attention.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very small movement just at the corner of the windows. All of you start to get up. You start to get ready, or at least prepare yourself. There is a shadow that you see cross the doorway. No one knocks. The door starts to slide open. And Kim Ji Woon, you recognize the face. It is another one of your aunt's very many bodyguards. He does
And
not
then, yeah,
open the.
he immediately just like holds a hand up.
Mhm. He just holds the hand up. He does not open the door all the way. He just goes. He wants you guys to know he's there.
Mm-hmm.
He points to himself. He points to y'all, and then he closes the door again. So now you all know. Good news is, I'm not going to say you can fully relax because there's a very dangerous man who's very, very mad at Lo Fong and definitely don't give a fuck about the rest of y'all one way or another, especially not enough to keep you alive.
Could I roll to clock this man's particular, like, the bodyguard's biometrics?
You can.
Because I just want to make sure that if there's any change in I want to make sure I know the separation of him from other people.
All right, let's rely on your skills and training. So please roll with focus.
Yep. And I think, let me just check real quick. This is particularly sensing is particularly a extraordinary skill for myself. When you rely on your skills and training, use this combat stats or otherwise trigger a move while using your mastery. Ignore penalties from conditions or statuses. When you see someone using okay, so it's really I'm just like ignoring if I had like afraid or something, I would ignore the penalty. With focus, let's go. That is a 9. Wait,
All right.
9. Yeah, it's a 9.
Cool. So while you stop, you take a breath. Now that you've seen him, you expand your senses, look further out towards the garden. Your house is big. You've mostly just been monitoring inside the house.
Yeah.
But you push yourself a little harder and you realize that the bodyguard has not been sent alone. There are like 6 people stationed around your yard in various places. All of them close to a large door window. So the good news is you did find out something. You found like 6 other dudes, but you are distracted enough by that you can't tell which one is him because you don't know if he's still the one outside. They are cycling. They're moving around. They're
but
rotating.
I'm at least being able to clock that there are 6 people on our perimeter that are non-hostile, right? To us. Gotcha. Cool. Whether or not that'll stop Dai Li doesn't matter, but I will know if they go down. That is the important thing.
You will.
Yeah.
You will. You know that there are 6 heartbeats, that they are alert but not particularly stressed. And you may not know which one belongs to who because you don't know these guys, but you do know that they're there. And you will notice if they vanish. All right. I'm definitely not getting ready to. For absolutely no reason. Who wants Mayor? Odds or evens?
Evens.
All right. Cool. Don't worry about it. So.
Love it.
Love it.
It's fine.
It is. It's totally fine.
Everything's fine. We're all fine here.
It's a tense couple of hours before Chaim's mother and the servants never going to return home. Chaim, they've got the travel chair outfitted for you. It's not quite what you hoped. They can't get the wheels. They won't be here in time. But it's at least comfortable enough you can ride in it for several hours now without it causing you more pain than it's preventing.
Yeah.
Because we all know that is a serious problem. If your wheelchair is not fitted correctly, it can cause more pain and damage than it prevents.
Yeah. And, this is I'm gonna strategically use this chair. You don't have to worry.
I know, but sometimes I just have to look into the camera and be real mad about wheelchairs are very important. That's why we don't break them, Delta. That's why we don't break them, American Airlines. That's why we don't throw them. Okay, I'm done. Let me get off my soapbox now.
Mhm,
No, we're missing a
mhm.
couple airlines.
Yeah.
I know I don't know all their names. I
Air
don't fly.
fucking Canada.
All of them. Air
JetBlue,
Canada, Air Alaska.
Alaskan.
And I mean, to be fair, Alaska's got enough problems. Alaska can't
No.
keep the doors on their plane. How am I supposed to expect them to keep a wheelchair intact?
Right?
Yeah, that's
I can't
asking a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
They can't keep a door off a plane. Also, that one in Miami. Now, look, you got me distracted talking about planes on fire losing their doors. I did this to myself. I did
Anyway,
it to myself.
Yeah.
I don't have to worry
Anyway,
about that roll.
Yeah.
you know, um,
Servants are back.
servants are back.
Yes.
They have y'all stuff, or at least the majority of it. Kim Ji Woon, you don't have a full, you don't have everything you needed, but you have a couple very nice changes of clothing, and a couple rough changes of clothing, like things that you didn't ask for, but they knew, and they picked up things that will let you blend a little bit easier. If you
Ew.
have to, yeah. They picked you up the nicest poor people clothes they could. Like they are nice poor people clothes, but they're poor people clothes.
You're
And he looks at you, he goes,
cosplaying
"You
as a
will need
poor
it."
person.
Listen,
They're clean.
I know where they're doing it. I know where they're doing it.
Um, Kayam, you got some fresh fruits. Once again, your fruits have been re-upped. All of everybody's supplies, all of your supplies have been re-upped. Whatever you need, we're just gonna go in right now, and I'm gonna say everything you had has been replenished, and everybody gained one new item. So you don't have to think of it right now, but make a little note. Write it down to yourself. What new item you gained in Ba Sing Se?
Potatoes.
What was that?
Potatoes.
Potatoes.
Oh, okay.
Well, the thing is, they have a lot of water, but they also last a really long time on the road. And
They-
have you ever just been hit in the face with a potato?
Val, we are so fucking country. Because my answer is yes.
If someone ever just like lobbed a potato at you, it's not fun. Like,
Have you
anyway.
have you ever failed to make a potato gun?
Yeah, there you go. Yep, exactly.
Thankfully, it was not the full potato. It was just a little,
It's just a little bit. Yeah, there are definitely potatoes.
if you've
Still got
never-
my beans. Like,
Anyway, high five for country ass, rural ass me and Val. For the rest of y'all, please may all your guns be potato guns. So, y'all, everything's getting assembled. Kayam, your mom has come over, and you notice that while she was out, there's a lot of extra stuff that's not for y'all. She is real, and she comes over. She disappeared as soon as y'all got back in, and she is also dressed for travel. And she kind of cups your face and she goes, "I think it may be best that I also not be in town for a while, just in case. So I don't want you to worry about me." And y'all, and it seems like maybe y'all are trying. It seems like maybe you're trying to get out of town as fast as possible. Your little friend there, Isan did not like him.
oh, yeah.
And like, here's the thing: people don't know what Isan does in the upper ring, but there are rumors. There are like.
Lady Ji Woon seems to know.
Yeah.
Okay, but yeah, Lady Ji Woon's also from a crime family.
True.
When, with mom, I put my hand, I hold her, and I just, because I'm so much taller than her. Where this height came from, I don't know, because my dad is like 5'2". She's like 5'9", so but like this just, we don't know. It was probably the swamp that did it. And I is like, just promise me if you see Fire Nation Army presence wherever you go, you leave.
She does. She gives you another. She just right there, little kiss on the side of the head. And she goes, "I promise."
And
I
I can
will-
tell whether or not she's telling you the truth or not.
And she knows.
Yeah.
And you can tell that your mother is being very genuinely honest when she says, "I understand now.
Mhm.
I will not. I will be careful, and I will be safe. And if for any reason I think I'm not, I will go to your father.
I kiss the top of her head.
And then she goes, I
Yeah.
might go see your father anyway. It's been a long time since you were little and small, and just because I never wanted to have any more babies ever again doesn't mean that I don't miss the smell of the top of their head.
Yeah,
And you
you'll
could
have a good time.
see,
Hmm.
right? Because here's the thing, she and your father didn't stay together long, but they were together for
Yeah.
like the first 2.5 years of your life. She stayed with you in the foggy swamp. Um, and she absolutely very, very genuinely and very much loves the family centric culture of the Foggy Swamp people. She loves how freely, like, they are the exact opposite. The air nomads are like, okay, we share our babies with each other, but nobody even sees our babies
Yeah.
until they're like 5 years old. Whereas the swamp benders and water benders in general really love sharing their babies. Look at my baby. My baby is beautiful. My baby is the best. You can no, you look like you have germs. You can't kiss my baby, but look at my baby. See
Yeah,
my
yeah.
baby? Babies. Water
They
Nation.
show their babies to everyone, and I've like I don't get my non-monogamy I didn't learn this trait kind of thing. Like my mom has never married but has had multiple partners at a time even, and then there's nothing monogamous about the Foggy Swamp. Like I don't like
That
you
is
know
Yep.
true.
kind of thing. So it's not a like I get all of this honestly from both sides of my family.
You sure as shit do.
Yep.
But that is the promise she makes you is
Hmm.
that she will run the first chance she gets. If there's any hint of danger, she will head for your father. And also she might just go visit him anyway. She hasn't seen him in like 7 years at
He
this
would
point.
love
And
to see her.
also he would. They have a super amicable relationship.
Yeah.
They're not monogamous and they didn't want to live together forever. He didn't want to leave the swamp. She didn't want to stay in the swamp forever. They enjoy each other's presence when they are together.
Yeah. It's
Uh,
very cute and sweet. They're best
it
friends.
is. They are
Yeah.
really, really good friends. He will be super excited to see her. They may briefly have, she may stay for a couple months. They may briefly have a couple-month affair. She
Yeah.
might stay a little bit longer. Your mama really does. She doesn't
Kyle
even
actually doesn't
understand
want to
how
think
much she
about what
misses
his
babies.
parents are doing.
Oh, yes. No, you don't,
But the
because you
thing
know.
is, here's the thing Kayam is used to. He might not want to know what they're doing. He just unfortunately does know, so he's just gotten used to it. Like he's like, this is my life, and I
This
just
is
have
my
to
life.
live with it. It's their world, and I'm just living in it.
Yep.
That's true. So it's a lovely goodbye.
Mhm.
It's You guys are leaving well sorted, well provisioned. All of you are well rested. Any damage you've taken has been healed. Like y'all have had time to rest, heal, and recover. You are. It's the edge of the evening. The sun hasn't gone down, but it's going, and you're walking a little bit faster because there is that little voice in the back of your head going, "Don't let the sun go down on me here." You you understand that feeling and you're moving a little bit faster. You've made it to the gates of Ba Sing Se. Um, the lady sister Sister Aishan has not. You don't see her, and you're considering, you know what? We will wait. You're heading towards the air nomad uh, thingy barn.
Mhm.
You're heading towards the barn where the old man is. You'll wait for her there for another 15, 20 minutes, and then you're just going to go right outside the ring. That's all. You're not going to go far. You're just going to boop, pop
Yep.
down outside the ring. Uh, you make it almost to the door of the barn, and there is a slow grinding sound.
Mhm.
It is the sound of stone sliding against stone. The walls of the city were right in the lower ring. They absolutely build right up to against the walls. There are only a few places where the alleys duck in and out, and even those alleys all dead end against the great outer wall of Ba Sing Se. And one of those alleys, out of the darkness, you see just a faint flicker of light as the wall slides away and then slides closed again. You hear it happening down 2 or 3 other alleys. And there's just a shadow appears out of each of them. They stand at the mouths. They say nothing. They don't move. These tall, heavily armed shadows. You recognize the distinctive hats of the Dai Li in the silhouette. And from behind you, absolutely silent. Kayam, I want you to understand. I
It's
don't
Dai
know
Li.
if they masked. I don't know what they did. You did not hear the person behind you approaching.
It's that controlled breathing heartbeat.
It's that controlled
Yeah.
breathing heartbeat. You did not hear a son approach behind you until he clears his throat. He goes, "Now, my honorable nephew has offered you safe passage exactly as far as the port. I want you to know, Lo Fong, that every step you take, I am counting. I know how long it takes to get there. Even by bison, there will be men waiting. And as soon as you put that nun on that boat, know that it will be your last move. No one escapes me." And they're gone. The shadows fade back into the alley. You hear the grinding of the walls again. You didn't realize that lights had gone out, shutters had really drawn closed. The people of this neighborhood know what that sound means, and they had very quickly pulled their curtains, shut their light, blew out their candles. But as soon as that grinding is gone again, people start peeking. They look down and they see you. They're looking at a dead man walking. But there's no one between you and the barn. And on that note, let's go ahead and leave for the week.
Yeah,
Let's go
yeah,
ahead
I
and
think
do
we're
our
done. I
wrap
think
up.
that's a good space. Oh, what an episode. Oh my god, oh my god.
Don't like this.
Oh, it's good. It's fine.
It's
Questions.
fine.
All right, let's go ahead and do our questions. Let me get my screen back open in front of me. Growth questions. All right, people, let's talk about this. Did you learn something challenging, exciting, or complicated about the world today?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dai Li agents are terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Glad everyone agrees
Listen,
with
why do you
that.
think we got all this money? Like, we can't. We've been trying for decades, centuries. You can't fight the Dai Li. But you know what? Maybe maybe you can get the ones who give him orders to call him off. Just enough
That
money.
part. That part. All right, how about this? Did you stop a dangerous threat or solve a community problem today?
Nothing was stopped or solved.
No.
In fact, we now have a new problem.
Yeah.
multiple
You, in
new
fact,
problems.
You gained a couple dangerous threats, so that's lovely. I feel like gaining a dangerous threat should give you 2 points, but they don't have any rules for that, so it is what it is.
Yep.
And did you guide a companion towards balance, or did you end the session at your center?
Somehow I ended at center, but I have no idea.
I
how.
actually, as part of my, because I, at that failed roll, I leveled up, and I'm going to move myself to center because of that. So,
Awesome,
yeah.
awesome. All right. And now let's go around and I'm going to have each of you read out your individual growth questions and answer it. Let's go ahead and start with Casey because you're on top on my screen right now.
All right. Well, did you try to make amends for past mistakes or prove you're a different person now? I didn't really have much of an opportunity to do that because I was just trying to not immediately get murdered.
Yeah.
So, nah.
And Obi, Kim Ji-woon, what about you?
Did you learn something meaningful or important about your lineage, its members, or its effects on the world and others? I would say no, as far as challenges go. Perhaps my authority was slightly challenged. Who the fuck does he think he is to get in my goddamn way as I'm leaving this city,
Yeah.
making threats? But that's something to be dealt with later.
All right.
Let me
Mare,
let me make him grow.
you do that. I'm sure that will work out well for you. That will never come back to bite your family. Mare, how about you?
Mine has to do with engaging bad habits with having my friends engage in my bad habits. The answer is no.
I didn't really help nobody grow today, did I?
It's
Val,
okay.
how about you?
Mine is, did you express gratitude to a companion for their presence, support, or teaching? No, I didn't. Like, I didn't express any gratitude. We were too busy, like, like, too busy for this stuff. I mean, that's okay. I still end up having, like, 3 growth points, like, this entire session, which is the most I've had all season. So it's great. And that's it. Thank you everyone for coming and showing up. I'm just going to be real quick because I'm going to pee while everyone else bios. We are not having our Mass Effect game tomorrow as scheduled because I have a very important appointment in the middle of the day and everyone has voted to take a bye week. Not everyone, but the majority of the group has taken a bye week for tomorrow. So we will be back with that next Saturday. Otherwise, you can catch us back here on Thursday with Old Gods of Appalachia. And I'm also still playing some Monster Hearts and Girls Run These Worlds on Tuesday. I'll do that quick bio. Y'all get your stuff done. And stick around for the raid.
Hey,
All
hey.
right. Casey.
Yep. I'm just I actually did start my Twitch channel up again. So you can find me there at Ongaku Sensei. And otherwise you can just see me doing video game covers on the internet on a whole bunch of different places. And yeah. See ya.
Thank you. Obi.
All right, all right. I have been Kim Ji-woon elsewhere on the internet. You will know me as Jossa Dyson. That's JOSADISON. Or you can find me as that on Blue Sky and the Bird app, formerly known as Twitter. And you might even find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/Shinobi. And next Saturday, not this coming, but the next after that, you can see me in a Mass Effect stream on this very channel as the extremely trustworthy, ever reliable, will never steer you wrong, Diamant Bacchus.
I cool. That definitely sounds like someone I would put my my faith in. And Mare.
Hello, it is me. It is Mare playing your lovely Wong. I'm only doing this right now along with tomorrow, starting at 6 p.m. Eastern over on Sword and Key, is our Q&A session for our flagship campaign Horizons Call, where I play your amazing Centaur Star Druid Soul Knife Rogue Acacia in a nautical campaign. And then next week at the same exact time is our season 4 premiere. I am ready. We are dealing with a mile-long oceanic ooze who trapped both of our ships. It's gonna be fine.
Nice.
No, not a mile long. That's fine. This is all fine.
It's called the White Maw. It's
I,
gonna be fine.
I love y'all's wild ass Moby Dick slime that's been running y'all around. Like that's spectacular. Every time I hear more about it, I just giggle to myself. Just Captain A having a slime. It's okay. I'm fine. I'm fine. It's so funny to me. Anyway, hi, I'm Arnica. Thank you so much for joining us for episode 6 of Avatar season 2, Rain of Smoke and Ashes. Um, My cast has been spectacular. Been great to have them. It's been great to have you here. You can find me on the internet, on Twitter, Twitch, Hive, Blue Sky, just about anywhere as Arnica X Ross. Um, our creator app is open again for 2024 for Girls Run These Worlds. If you'd like to run a show with us, we make it as fun and easy as possible. Go ahead. Go to girlsruntheseworlds.com/pitch. Yeah, look, it's right on the website now. You ain't even got to get a weird Google link or nothing. Nope, girlsruntheseworlds.com/pitch.
Hell
Let us
yeah.
know what story you want to tell. I would love to get you on the air this year. Um, and that's about it. I'm not doing no games. We're having a great time. Let's go ahead, do let's do our raid, Val. Let's say
Yeah,
goodbye.
we're
Let's
gonna
do
Yeah.
the
go
thing.
rate final show films, and we will see you next time, everyone. Goodbye.
Hell yeah. Let's
Bye.
go. Get them.